This week on The Gadget Show, it's our summertime special.
Yes, big gadgets, big names and big fun, as we tell you all you need to know to have a brilliant gadget-laden summer holiday.
Susie and I push rugged luggage to the edge of destruction.
And swim with sharks to test waterproof cameras.
Then go head-to-head racing on some of the most exciting gadget watercraft ever invented.
Nigel Havers joins John to test e-readers. Are they the perfect way to take as many books as you want on holiday?
And he gets some tips on taking brilliant holiday snaps from supermodel-turned-photographer Helena Christensen.
Hello and welcome to The Gadget Show.
On this week's programme, we're looking at the kind of gadgetry you need to get the most out of your summer holidays. If you're going to Ibiza or, I don't know, Daddy's little multi-million-pound pad in Skegness, or, like me, Corfu.
Oh, yeah?
Big fan of Corfu, as I call it. Oh, Corfu, it's hot here, isn't it? Can't wait. Sun, sea, and really good childcare facilities. I'm really looking forward to it. Where are you going?
We're glamorous, aren't we? I'm going to Spain with my mum and dad.
That's good. It's good to go with the mum and dad.
I like Spain, though, because it's got lots of men with nice bums. Anyway, the core of this week's Summer Special show is the Summer Special Challenge, where Jason and I are going head-to-head testing a whole array of holiday gadgets.
Yeah, and it started with us testing to destruction some rugged luggage.
When you're off on your travels, you need your luggage to be tough. It's likely to get gnarled on the airport conveyor belt and get hurled into the back of a coach by a burly Spanish driver. So we've got two of the toughest suitcases around, and we're going to see just how much punishment they can take.
I've got the Mendoza Seahawk 2, undoubtedly what Andy McNabb would take to Magaluf. It has a solid ABS polycarbonate shell, a 2-year guarantee, and 4 wheels for 360-degree manoeuvrability. And I think the camo print sets off my skin tone rather nicely.
Well, I think that macho look is very cliched. I much prefer my elegant Antler Geolite case. Sleek silver design, strong but lightweight polycarbonate shell, 4 wheels and guaranteed for 7 years. It's tough, but classy.
Wow! Woo! Check me out, my Seahawk! Hey? That is going to do the business and keep my stuff secure, no question about it.
You've got no chance before you know it, right? This is going to be open, your little pants are going to be hanging out, they're going to be going around the belt, everyone's going to be able to see them. That's what's going to happen to you.
Before we got to the tough stuff, though, we needed to test how good the wheels were on our cases. Nobody wants the shopping trolley effect when you're manoeuvring your luggage through the airport, no matter how tough the case is. Your wheels need to move your case in the direction you want to go. If they don't, they're just infuriating.
Are you confident with yours?
I'm very confident. I've got a good set of wheels on mine.
OK, well, I've got a great set of wheels on mine. So what we're going to do, we're going to push our cases as far as they will go. Whichever one goes the furthest will win. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Luggage Curling!
2 goes each. Whoever wins takes the round.
Oh, that's not half bad, that.
Right, I'm going to mark it. I'm blue. Ready?
My Antler case has been road tested over 25 kilometres, so I was hoping for a good performance.
Both stayed upright, and it was only the camber of the runway that made them veer off to the left.
That was a good effort, Suze, honestly.
I'd started well, but I needed a good second hurl.
Woo! Oh, yes!
Oh, that's good!
Yeah! Look at that!
Oh, that is a result.
Look at that, go for it, look!
Hey, it's a good one. That's a real... Oh, my God, it could beat me! Oh, yes! I won!
Let me see!
So close, that is so close!
Hey,
The Seahawk has definitely got the best
Yeah,
legs.
I concede. You win that challenge.
Now it was time to see how tough our cases really were by bashing them together.
Because it's fair to say, isn't it, on a long-haul trip, your cases are bound to take a few knocks. Well, we're just taking it a couple of steps further.
Yeah, we're taking up a few more steps than that, Suze, aren't we?
Yeah! Look at that!
It would be the ultimate test of durability. Giant case conquers!
Come on, let's do it!
Hey,
You've got no chance.
let's do this.
Go!
Oh!
The polycarbonate shells were taking some serious hits, but they were holding up well.
One more!
But just like real conkers, we'd keep going until something broke.
Susie,
What?
These cases are fantastic. I'm so impressed. But this is a tested to destruction, right?
Yeah.
I reckon we have to up the ante.
One of them has got to lose.
Yeah. Guys, start the crane up.
Now, both these cases have been drop tested, but of course, we wanted to push them to the limit, so we decided to drop them from 100 feet.
3, 2, 1, go! Whoa! Oh, no! No!
Woohoo!
I don't believe it!
That's amazing! Look, all Jason's stuff's come out of his bag. Look at the shape of it.
Oh, my God.
Look, mine's completely fallen apart.
Look at that! It's trash!
Can you just come here with me? Because I just did notice something. Underneath the towels, in Jason's case...
Don't show me
hello?
that! Can we cut?
Oh, how incredibly embarrassing.
Yeah, well, we were pretty shocked at the way he packs his case, but we're also shocked about the way they both fared, because it was extraordinary.
It was brilliant, that.
If somebody said to me right now, you've got to take one of these cases on holiday, you've got no chance with this one. However, a bit of gaffer tape on this one...
I agree.
In terms of ruggedness, the Seahawk, was definitely our winner.
Time for a break now, but still to come.
Our summer challenge continues as Jason and I come face to face with big bitey sharks, all in the interests of testing the best waterproof cameras.
And John tests e-readers with silky smooth actor Nigel Havers, and then gets some tips for taking holiday pics off Helena Christensen.
Welcome back. Now, shh. We could be on the brink of a revolution in reading. That last bastion of analogue media, the book, could be about to give way to the digital onslaught. Leading the way is this, Amazon's Kindle. It's an e-reader with an electronic paper display that you can download books onto from Amazon's Kindle bookstore. It's a rather aesthetically pleasing thing. In fact, it's so covetable that it sold out within 5.5 hours of going on sale in the USA last year. But if you want one, you can't have it, because there are no plans to sell the Kindle in the UK.
Fear not, though, there are 3 on or about to hit the market, and I took them for an afternoon of perusal with actor Nigel Havers.
Nigel, hello. Hello. Happy to see you. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much for helping us out with this task. Does the concept of an electronic book, does that fill you with horror or
No,
interest?
I think I'm really excited about it. Primarily because going on holiday, for instance, my suitcase is heavy because of books more than anything else. This will solve that problem.
Well, we've got 3 e-readers to look at. They're not necessarily all perfectly formed. I'd be very interested to know what you think of them. Come this way.
E-readers are small computers which store and display hundreds of electronic books. They work using the relatively new technology of e-ink, ink made up of charged particles of pigment which are rearranged when an electrical field is applied to them. It's meant to look like paper, and no backlight means less strain on the eye and a long battery life. Our first e-reader, the B-Book, is the lightest of the 3 and has a 15-centimetre screen.
How many books can you carry in this? Do you know?
Hundreds.
Yeah. Well, that in itself is amazing.
Yes, and also that's only on the internal memory. You can extend it with the memory card slot in the top.
A big bonus with e-books is that many books on which the copyright has expired, 70 years after the author has died, are available free. For the B-Book, you can download many of these classics from the B-Book website. Books still in copyright are usually for sale in a rights-managed format, so you can't share them around. And as yet, the B-Book just won't display these formats.
They say they're going to update that software soon, so in a month or 2 you will be able to at least get recent-ish books electronically.
It's not ready yet. It's not ready yet.
But what was it like to read?
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Wedlock suits you, he remarked. I think, Watson, that you have put on 7.5 pounds since I saw you. 7, I answered. Changing page. Indeed, I should have thought a little more, just a trifle more, I fancy, Watson. It's great to read. I mean, you know, if I put it up against the light, it's as good as a proper printed page.
So Nigel was impressed by the B-Book's simple interface and book-like reading experience, but much less so with the lack of modern titles. On to e-reader number 2. The Rex Iliad has a 20-centimetre screen and plenty of extra features.
Not the speediest start, is it? No.
What's this for?
It's a touch screen, and you can also make notes. So if we hit this icon here, you can actually write on the pages.
Good.
But the increased functionality also means a fiddly menu system and an overload of touchscreen icons.
So here's the $64,000 question. Can you get the new titles on this?
Yes, because it will read them. This one will actually handle the formats that are sold by the commercial e-book website. So as far as you can get the latest books on those, you can read them on that.
Well, that's good. It's a plus sign.
You can download free and new titles in Iliad-compatible formats from a plethora of sites. The paid-for ebooks cost much the same price as a real paper version. A book takes in the region of 1 to 2 minutes to download, depending on the size of the book and the speed of your computer.
Well, that's good, but to me, it's more of a computer than a book.
Ah.
It's more sort of like a educational tablet.
But was the Iliad any good to read?
The light doesn't seem to worry it. Certainly you will find me at the Langham under the name of Count von Kram. That was my German accent, by the way.
Very good, very good.
And it does have one nice book-like feature.
You turn page by flicking this little bar here. That way or that way. He chuckled to himself and rubbed his long, nervous hands together.
But the Iliad just didn't feel enough like a book to impress Nigel. Could our third e-reader do any better? Sony's reader is just 7mm thick, and like the B-Book has a 15cm screen.
Unfortunately, it's currently only available on the American market, so you have to get it from there. They're planning to sell it here in the UK later this year.
For the Sony reader, you can again download some non-copyright material from various sites. But for copyrighted books, you have to use the Sony eBook Store.
You have to buy stuff in their format.
No shopping around with that, then.
And that's probably going to be the same when it comes to the UK as well.
And finally, we settle down again for a good read.
Two households, both alike in dignity, in fair Verona, where we lay our scene.
Romeo and Juliet.
Yes, it's very, very good. And easy to read. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? The page turn is slightly longer.
I thought that.
However, having said that, I think that's made up in the fact that it's such a lovely design and so sort of cool and so easy to operate, even for left and right-handed people. They've thought of that. I think it's a very, very cool bit of kit.
Yeah.
You know, to give me this as a present is
Oh,
really...
well,
No, seriously, you shouldn't have done, because you can only get this in America, but thank you very much. It's been been lovely. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, thank you.
Let's go for a G rating then, John.
3 Gs for the B-Book. It could be a really good product, but at the moment, as we speak, you still can't put commercial books onto it, so you're stuck with just the classic
Gutenberg project and all those sort of freebies, yeah. What about the Iliad?
3 Gs to that as well, because it's got a good screen, and crucially, it is the only one of these three that at the moment you can actually go to a commercial website and download a bestseller and read it, which is very important. But it's not exactly the most satisfying piece of design.
But of course, the Sony certainly wins when it comes to design.
I think it's a very satisfying object. The Sony gets 4 Gs for me, because it is a glorious thing to use, but however, this is on the assumption that when Sony launched their store and this product in the UK later this year, the pricing and the availability of the books is good, which we can't be guaranteed.
OK, I think that's very fair. So at this stage in the evolution of this exciting technology, e-readers, the Sony has our vote.
OK, now it's time to return to our summer holiday challenge. And the next part of our test was all about finding out the best way to capture those wonderful holiday memories. Digital cameras.
Yeah, but not just any old digital camera. Waterproof digital cameras. How well do waterproof cameras actually perform? For the next part of our summer holiday challenge, we headed down to the Sea Life Centre in Brighton to put the latest underwater cameras through their paces. And to do so, we had to get friendly with some rather big fish. You are joking me. I'm not going in there, Susie Perry.
Oh, it's beautiful. I can't wait to get in.
You won't say that when he's chopping on your leg. Tell you what, the sharks are one thing, it's the Nemos you want to watch out for. They nibble your bits.
Oh, lovely.
I'm absolutely serious. Anything sticking out, they nibble on it.
Oh, you'll be all right then. As we took the plunge into the murky depths, our challenge would be to test 2 of the best underwater cameras we could get our hands on. We were testing usability, performance, and ultimately, who got the best pictures. I'd be scuba diving, and Jace was donning his snorkel. I was first up, and I couldn't wait to get in there. And once I was under, it was amazing.
Wow, this is absolutely extraordinary.
My choice of camera was the latest compact from dive expert C&C, the DX1G, which comes with its own purpose-built housing. It's got 10 megapixels, fully operable underwater controls, and it's depth-tested to 55 metres, so perfect for some full-on scuba action.
This is a professional dive camera. Feels quite chunky, quite heavy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it on the C&C mode.
The C&C mode is a colour balance setting developed specifically for underwater shots, so it should produce optimum results without any fuss.
Next, it was my turn to meet Jaws and his mates with my camera. I went for the Canon Ixus 960IS with a waterproof shell, one of a range of everyday cameras that can be adapted for underwater use. As soon as I was in the water, I was keen to get snappy, but was seriously worried that the 4 varieties of shark in the tank had the same idea.
Love it, Nora! That was incredible! The shark just came right next to me. I mean, literally, I could have touched him. I didn't, because I'm not stupid. But I could have. Oh my God, no, go on! What am I doing? I'm the guy supposed to do computer games reviews.
Once I got over the shock of my near-death experience, I got to grips with the Canon. It's depth-tested to 40 metres, and the controls on the housing are laid out just like the camera, but in chunkier form, so I found it pretty easy to use, even with all the activity around me. And with 12 megapixels and a 6cm LCD screen, I was getting some great instant results.
The external controls are absolutely brilliant because in the sort of first generation of these housings, they weren't. You know, they're a little bit clunky, but I'm able to get focused and then continue to press the button down to get the shot.
So, having got used to our cameras, we both got on with the job of getting the best snaps we could in this gorgeous environment. My C&C has an impressive spec, including 3x optical zoom and vibration correction, but in a point-and-shoot test in these murky underwater conditions, it was struggling.
It's really frustrating. It's hard to press the lever halfway down to maintain a focus before it takes the picture. It's just not sensitive. And it's so beautiful down here, I'm just not capturing what I'm seeing.
My static shots came out well, but when you're underwater, the interesting stuff tends to move around a bit, and to avoid startling the animals, we weren't able to use flash, which certainly would have helped.
Oh, she's gorgeous. I love that, but I just don't think I've done her justice with this camera.
I was having some problems of my own on the surface.
I swear to God that shark is circling me. He is.
I may have been feeling shaky, but my camera certainly wasn't. Having upped the sensitivity rating before going in, the low light wasn't such a problem for me. Plus, the focusing was fairly sharp and the colours true. The only downside was we couldn't stay down there all day.
Wow. That was so beautiful underneath there. It was absolutely extraordinary. And the turtle, she's brilliant, isn't she?
Absolutely beautiful.
That was a truly wonderful experience.
Yeah. As for the technology, well, let's look at the results because we've printed some out, haven't we?
Yeah, I think we both felt a little bit disappointed. I was really struggling to get any focus on this camera.
Obviously, as we said in the piece, we had issues with the light, which is why my pictures are grainy, but I think it's fair to say that they're a little bit crisper.
Oh, definitely. The focus is definitely better on here.
So the Canon waterproof housing definitely wins that part of the challenge.
Yeah, and the other thing that's great about that is you take it out, you've got a nice little...
I know, it's so straightforward. It's a really nice camera, the Ixus, was it 960IS, isn't it? Which is a great all-round camera, as you say.
So now you know which underwater camera to take on your holes. How about a few tips on getting really good holiday pictures? Well, the Gadget Show can do that for you because later on in the programme, John Bentley is going to Egypt with ex-supermodel turned photographer Helena Christensen.
Some guys have all the luck. But right now it's time for the focus group.
Each week on the focus group, John, Jason and I present the best new gadgets we can find in a particular category to our focus group, and they tell us which one they like the best. This week we're looking at underwater gadgets, and our group is made up of, what are you guys? Your polo players, scuba divers and swimmers. And you're going first.
OK, up to the deep end, please. OK, look, I know I look a bit stupid right now, but I'm actually bouncing around underwater on a device called the Sub Jumper. It's more of a toy or a sort of leisure gadget. But it's got this weird sort of double ball mechanism at the bottom, which is what you get the bounce from. What's your name, sir?
Gary.
Hi, Gary. Would you like to give it a go?
Sure.
It's not easy to do, but as Gary's demonstrating, He's not half bad at it. How's that feeling right now?
Good.
Quite a good little cardiovascular workout. It's also really good for designing your whole range of completely new tricks. Try and bounce off the wall, Gary. OK, he's been practising for this moment. And he's pulled it off, look. How about that for Gary?
All right, chaps, this is going to be a fantastic gadget for you. It is a fully waterproofed iPod shuffle. Now, it works brilliantly, but I don't want you to take my word for it. Eleanor, will you give it a go for me? Just clip that on. Bang those in your ear, and you just press play. The buttons are a little bit stiffer than normal. That's your waterproofiness. Just pop those in your ear. Just tell me if they're comfortable as well, actually.
Yeah, they're very comfy.
Yeah? Have a little swim around, and then come and tell us what the sound's like. OK, thanks. The brilliant thing about this company is you can buy the item already made, or you can send your iPod Shuffle into the company, and they'll waterproof it for you, and they guarantee the waterproofness for at least a year. So, how is it?
Excellent. There's no fault in the sound whatsoever. It's really clear in your ears, so over and under the water, so it's excellent for the swimming pool.
I've got the Liquid Image underwater camera. As you can see, it's an underwater camera handily combined with a pair of goggles. The actual lens is up here at the front. Phil has very kindly agreed to demonstrate it by taking an underwater picture of the polo team. The actual knobs and buttons are there on the right-hand side. You switch the red one to change between video and stills mode, and the light green one to take the picture. It's 5 megapixels in still mode and VGA quality in video. And the storage is in there. There's a 2 gigabyte micro SD card, well protected in this screw-down container. Runs on AAA batteries fitted to the sides. So, ready, Phil?
Yep, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
As well as demoing our gadgets to the focus group, we let them have some time to get properly hands-on and test the kit for themselves, so they could make their minds up about what they like the best.
I thought it was a really good idea. It's a bit tricky to get the hang of in the beginning, but in the end it's really fun.
I thought it was good fun to use, but it's slightly below my age range, to be honest.
It's something I wouldn't use, but I can see kids having hours of fun on them.
I think it'd be great for snorkelling, but in the UK it's quite cold in the sea, and we use thick neoprene gloves for scuba diving, so the buttons would be a bit fiddly.
I liked it, but it wasn't very good as a diver because it's really difficult to clip onto your mask. It's quite fiddly.
I think they were brilliant. I thought the sound was really clear.
Well, the moment of truth has arrived. You've got to make a choice, OK? Only one of our underwater gadgets today can be chosen. What's it going to be? Is it going to be my sub-jumper? If it is, put your hands in the air right now.
Oh!
Well done, Gary. Thanks, Gary. OK, what about Susie's waterproof iPod Shuffle? Oh!
Hey! Oh! It's everyone apart from Gary!
Oh, you keep your hands down, Gary. And finally, what about John with his videoing, shooting goggles?
I think it's going to be a 0.
What have we got?
Another 0.
OK, then our winner is Susie and our waterproof iPod Shuffle!
Time for another short break now, but straight after that, in our Summer Gadget Special...
John Bentley and Helena Christensen with a whole load of tips on how to take better holiday snaps.
And Dallas compiles our top 5 essential summer holiday gadgets.
Welcome back. Now, I want to talk to you about your summer holiday photos. Over the next few weeks, obviously, pretty much all of us will be popping off for a summer break, and taking a camera is a priority bit of the packing. But with a bit of thought and effort, you could come back with better summer holiday photos than ever before, especially if you had someone who was skilled in the art of photography giving you a few tips.
Helena Christensen is mostly famous as one of the world's most photographed supermodels, but these days she's moved behind the camera and has made a name for herself as a very talented and accomplished photographer.
What got you into photography?
I was traveling around the world when I was about 18 years old and taking photographs, and since then, really, I've just been interested in taking photographs. And because my job took me everywhere, it was really just a very natural thing to just be able to capture all the moments, all the visuals. People look so silly when they take photographs.
We met up in Cairo with the aim of providing you with some tips on how to take your best ever holiday photos this summer.
I really love the way that all the tones are muted and then something just bursts out.
We wandered through the bazaar together, snapping away with a pair of Canon EOS 450Ds, the entry-level SLR camera that came out top in a recent Gadget Show test.
What about all these rules that people always mention in photography? Rules of thirds, lines
yeah,
of interest?
I have no rules. The rule is not to have any.
As well as picking up tips from Helena, I also popped off to do a bit of shooting myself at some of Cairo's other tourist hotspots and put her suggestions to the test. So what tips did we come up with? Tip 1 is don't go for the obvious.
I mean, obviously, when you're approaching these buildings, you don't sort of just take a shot of the whole building. What sort of things do you do?
Well, I mean, for example, right here, I think it's really beautiful with that woman's face. We don't know who she is. She might be lost. She might be a criminal. It might be a man. And then with the coloring of the chairs, that weird, abandoned kind of. But I probably shoot it straight on.
I mean, I always think the sort of ultimate goal is to try and tell a whole story within one frame of a picture.
Well, actually, this sums it up quite well. A camel, a cobra, a palm tree. We're in Cairo.
I agree completely with Helena. You'll encapsulate the mood and feeling of a place much, much better by shooting little scenes and textures rather than always going for a dirty great wide shot.
Now, obviously, millions of people take pictures of these pyramids every year, so the last thing you want is to frame up a picture with a pyramid just plonked in the middle of it, like our director has here. Otherwise, you just get the same picture as everybody else. What you want to do is isolate a detail, take an unusual view.
Tip 2 is all about when to take your photos.
Any particular form of days you like best, particular sort of lighting? And
Yeah, that definitely is. It would be dusk right before the last light go. That's my favorite kind of lighting. Absolutely. I mean, when I shoot like a fashion story, I always get the best shots right before we finish.
Again, I agree wholeheartedly with Helena. My visit to the pyramids was at 6:30 in the morning, while the sun was still low and the tourist hordes were still in bed. So I not only got the place practically to myself, but also had beautiful warm light. And don't even be afraid to shoot at night.
Now, in modern digital cameras, you can shoot practically in the dark without flash. Just increase the sensitivity and use the image stabilization if you have it, and you can get really remarkable shots in very dark conditions. And when it's in evening light, you can tweak the white balance as well. Put it on a daylight setting, and then your red sunsets will look genuinely red. The camera won't try and overcompensate.
Tip 3 is always keep your camera handy.
I mean, what about the sort of landscapes of places you go to? How do you tackle those?
You know, mostly I shoot landscapes from cars because I drive so much to and from airports and to locations and all. But I love moving landscapes. I like when trees get sort of extended.
So, obviously, keep your camera with you at all times. Street life is unfolding in front of you, and it really sums up the feel of a foreign place. Plus, because it's all happening so quickly, there's the thrill of the chase.
Our final tip is to take lots of shots of people, whether you're friends or locals. Your friends will look happier and more relaxed on holiday, and a good portrait could be treasured for years.
So if I was doing a portrait of someone and I could place them somewhere, I would probably place them. You see how beautiful the light is right when they're coming through?
Yeah.
So, you know, I like dark sort of surroundings, and then almost like you're placing someone in a box and there's one available light.
And as long as they're happy about it, shots of local people in their environment are a brilliant way of capturing the feel of a place.
I love that couple up there having, yeah, you see, sitting up there with her pink dress and the legs wide open. But see, this is an interesting little place. I mean, very atmospheric.
It's very good light in the back there, isn't it? I mean, would you use flash in these sort of places, or you try and avoid that?
You know, I try and avoid it because it really captures people's attention.
What about with the 5-star?
No, not today. Tomorrow.
Just looking. Not tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
After tomorrow here. Just looking.
Today we work.
So, Mr. Bentley, who'd have thought it? You, in Egypt, with a supermodel taking holiday snaps.
Absolutely. I'd always wanted to go to Egypt and I've never been, so it was a great opportunity.
Yeah, not about Egypt. The fact that you're with Helena Christensen, though.
Oh, Helena too. She was great to be with. And she's passionate about photography because she was doing photography before she did modelling, so you almost get the impression that her modelling career was an interruption to her photography career.
A rather pleasant interruption to have her being a supermodel. Well, now you know how to take the best holiday photographs. All you need to take them is a brand new camera, and that's where this week's this competition comes in.
And this week being our summer special, we wanted something special and summery. And believe me, this week's competition is special and different.
Yes, indeed. And that's because we're not just going to have one winner this week. No, 85 of you who are watching right now will be winners.
And there'll be 85 winners because we're giving away 85 Canon EOS 450Ds worth £600 each.
Yep, it's our biggest prize fund ever. In fact, it's worth in excess of £50,000.
And to be in with a chance of being one of the 85 winners of a brand new digital camera, you'll need to know the answer to this question. Summer Nights is a song from which musical? Is it A, Oliver, B, Mamma Mia, or C, Grease? To enter, call 0904 251 5555 or text Gadget plus A, B or C to 63555. Calls cost £1.50 from a BT landline. Calls from other networks may vary and from mobiles will cost considerably more. Text costs £1.50 plus one message at standard network rate. For rules, go to 5.tv/win. Lines close at midday on Monday the 28th of July. And of course, we'll show you the question again at the end of the show. Good luck.
Now, as you know, at the very core of everything we do here at the Gadget Show is proper gadget testing. And as you also know, we go a very long way to test stuff to its limits, always with the aim of helping you to choose the best gadgets to buy.
But what you may not know is that our thorough testing doesn't just stop with this TV show. Our website at 5.tv/Gadget Show is also dedicated to showing you exactly which gadgets to buy and which to avoid. Every week on the website, John presents his weekly Gadget Show Web TV, in which he gives his verdict on all the very latest technology to hit the shops. This is updated every week, whether the show is on TV or not.
And in our Best Buys guide, we give advice on which gadgets you should buy in pretty much every category and for pretty much every budget. So if there's any new tech you're thinking of buying, check out the advice on our website.
Hey, Jace, come over here. I've got a great gadget to show you for when you go wearing your holes.
OK.
Right, first of all, though, I need the lights down. OK, this is fake TV. I know what you're thinking.
Rubbish picture.
Yeah, and you can't change the channel. But this low-energy device is essentially emulating the light output of a 27-inch LCD HD TV.
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah, so you go away on holiday, you plug this in, and it looks like somebody's in the house watching the telly.
That's a brilliant idea.
It's got a little sensor inside, so it comes on in the dark and it goes off when it gets light. But yeah, look, if I show you, if you just point it at this wall here, it looks like somebody's watching the telly. Not available till September, but definitely worth having a look at.
Such a clever idea.
Look.
Look at that. It really is eerily like a television, isn't it?
Someone's in that house watching the Gadget Show.
Absolutely, yeah. There you go, fake TV, a gadget that obviously you want to leave at home when you go on your summer holidays. But what about the ones that you want to take with you? Here's Dallas with his top 5 essential summer holiday gadgets.
At number 5, it's the Targis portable speaker book. Now, you're going to want to take your tunes with you, obviously, when you go on holiday, for all those impromptu parties you're going to have around the swimming pool. So this is just great. The best thing about it is that it folds flat, so it's easy to pack. It's got a 3.5mm standard audio jack, so it's going to be compatible with your laptop, with your MP3 player, iPod, whatever it is you have. I press go. Listen to that. Smooth. At number 4, it's the Oakley split Thumps. They look like a stylish pair of Oakleys, but in fact more than that, they're the latest in their line of Thump MP3 sunglasses. They do in fact have these very nifty earpieces that clip into the side here, allowing you to listen to all your favourite tunes whilst you relax in the jacuzzi. To get music onto the 1GB flash drive, you just connect them up to your computer through a USB connection. The controls are cunningly disguised as the Oakley logos. You've got your volume control up and down on this side and your MP3 control on the other side, play forward, backwards, etc. 8-hour battery life. It's also got an audio overdrive feature, so you can cut straight to your favourite song. These things are brilliant! At number 3, it's the ultimate add-ons bag, World Traveller Plus. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's a bag, how boring, but in fact this is the perfect bag for travelling with all your gadgets, because it's actually 3 bags in one. It's perfect for all the millions of gadgets you're going to take on holiday with you. And the really fantastic thing about this is what it comes with. Now, look at this. We have a fantastic travel adapter. Look at this. It's Europe. It's Australia and New Zealand. It's America. It's Britain. There's even a port for charging your USB gadgets. Not only that, it just goes on and on. You've got adapters for everything. This is Adapter Central in here. It even comes with this mobile power pack for charging your gadgets on the go. Brilliant. At number 2, it's the Franklin TGA 490 12-language speaking global translator. Stupidly, I didn't pay any attention in any foreign language classes when I was at school, but luckily for me, Franklin have brought out this as a speaking global translator, and it's got over 500,000 words in 12 different languages in it. So if I type a word into here like gadget, it'll translate it into any of these languages. And what's more, it'll also speak it for you. Now, the other great thing about this is it's got a whole load of pre-programmed phrases in. So if I wanted to do business phrases, or I could scroll down conversing, dining, emergencies, it's all brilliant. So what I thought I'd do is I'd try it out on my new friends over here. Hi, do you speak English at all? Like, not a word at all. Perfect. Let's try this out. Call me. And at number 1, it's the Flip Ultra Video Camcorder. If you hate studying manuals, adjusting settings and playing around with menus, then the Flip Ultra may be the perfect video camera for you for making all your simple home movies. It's a point-and-shoot camcorder that lets you record 60 minutes of VGA quality footage straight onto its 2 gig built-in flash memory. It has a USB connector, so you can just connect it up to your computer and use the preloaded software to edit and share your footage really easily. On top of this, it has a TV out socket, so you can view everything on your TV. It's slim, stylish and pretty sturdy, and at under £100, I reckon it's going to be the hit of the summer. Geronimo!
Great gadgets, Dallas. This, for me, was a runaway hit, the man bag.
It's good and it looks a bit dull, but actually really quite useful for travelling about.
I love it. I have, like, my MP3, my camera, my phone, all in separate socks in my suitcase. This would pull them all together in one huge sock.
You wouldn't need any more socks.
Not at all. The Oakleys we've done before, and I absolutely love. Perfect to bring them up for summer holidays. If ever you're going to get a pair of shades for your summer holidays and you're a gadget fan, it's got to be these.
I was surprised. I love them.
And they look good, don't they?
Yeah, I think so.
But the star of the top 5 is the Flip Video. What a great idea. It's so easy to use.
It's really good. It's really easy, and the software you get with it as well is terrific. It's very basic editing software, but it's good and it's all you need. It's really, you know, a fantastic bit of kit.
Well, it's not all you need. There is one more thing I think you need. Seriously, I think you're going to like this. It's called the Eco Suitcase, and I don't know why they've called it that, because that's nothing to do with its unique selling point, which actually is a digital scales inside.
That's genius.
It's a great idea. Let's load them up and see. So you're at home, all right, you're getting ready to go to the airport. Okay. You know that when you get there, you are in danger of having to pay a surplus because your luggage is too heavy. Certainly when we're going away with all of our gadgets, filming for the Gadget Show, it's a nightmare, isn't it?
Well, this is the thing. Literally, the other day, I had a suitcase about that size, and I didn't know how much it weighed. I was wrestling with my bathroom scales, trying to actually see, and I couldn't see. That would be very handy indeed.
Well, this, all you do is you press that button, OK?
Yeah.
And you lift it up.
There we go.
OK, and this handle initiates the process, 8.5 kilograms, thank you.
It's such a simple idea. It's so simple, it's brilliant. Can I just point out one other brilliant feature I've just noticed?
Please.
Compass on the handle.
Yeah, which actually, in theory, is a good idea, except like many relatively cheapo compasses, it doesn't work. Because it's on the tilt.
Time for the final break in the show now, but after that, our Summer Gadget special reaches its climax as Jason and I go head-to-head, racing some of the most exciting and fun gadget watercraft ever invented.
Welcome back. Right, let's crack on with the final part of this week's special summer challenge. Now, you'll remember that we already tested rugged luggage and waterproof digital cameras.
Yeah, and as we were going into the final part of this week's challenge, confidence was extremely high in the Bradbury camp.
Was it?
Yeah, because it was all about racing in water on gadgets. And if there's one thing this body was made for, Suze, it's racing in water on gadgets.
What about this body, Jace?
That's made for something else, Suze.
Welcome to British summertime and the seaside.
stroke lakeside.
Yeah, welcome to the lakeside for the final part of our challenge.
Yeah, which is going to be a race on 4 exotic forms of water-based transport.
It was a 2-part race on the lake to see which of our chosen craft got us to the finish quickest. First off, we'd be testing pedal-powered craft, then motorised machines.
So, first up, it was the short course with pedal power.
3, 2, 1, go!
No way! This is gonna kill my legs, man.
I powered away from the start in my Hobie Mirage Kayak. Its ingenious flipper system underneath maximises your pedal power whilst reducing turbulence in the water.
I've got little penguin flippers into the boat, like having a couple of little penguins there.
Whilst I was finding high speed more elusive on my Ipod. It's basically an aluminium pedal bike powering a propeller underneath. It's great for cruising, not racing, so it was no match for Susie's kayak.
Oh my God! I'm wasted already, man. I am wasted. You've got to go between the boys or you get disqualified.
Look
at
that!
Woo! Wow, that was really impressive.
Like that wide turn.
Oh!
So it was clear my Hobie had the advantage as I hit the home straight.
And look, the sweet smell of victory. Come on, Mr. B.
Oh no, she's finished.
It's victory to the Hobie for part 1.
So that was 1 win to me. Time to fire up the motorised craft for our final race, which Jason had to win.
3, 2, 1, go!
And we were off, but this time it was a lot faster.
Oh yeah!
I was in a kayak again, but this one had some serious oomph. The Surfango Hawaii has a 4-stroke engine and a joystick, so you don't need to do any of that annoying paddling stuff. Just sit down and accelerate to speeds of up to 25 miles an hour.
Being so low down into the water gives you a great sense of just being on a powered board, really. And this throttle is really intuitive.
I was having great fun on my machine. The PowerSurf FX is essentially a surfboard with an engine. The hand throttle controls your speed, while direction can be changed with the shift of your weight. It felt seriously quick.
This is amazing! Look at it kick!
Woo! Woo! Look at us neck and neck!
There was nothing in it as we approached the turn at the top of the course. But then disaster!
Has he made the turn? Oh, he's got in! He's got in! I don't believe it! Woo!
Each of our craft is powered by a 9.5 brake horsepower engine, but in a flat-out race, my greatest stability was the crucial difference.
I'm on full throttle going full power, about 25 knots. Gonna take the finishing line. Here we come then. Woo!
Well, the race may have been lost, but that didn't mean I couldn't have some fun on my PowerSurf on the way back.
Come on!
Woo!
Oh, what a brilliant day. It was absolutely great fun,
You deserve
wasn't
to
it?
win that, though, because that final part, you were really zipping along and so manoeuvrable.
Well, I love both of my kayaks, but I particularly like that powered kayak, that Hawaii, with that little joystick. Because
Gorgeous
also,
interface.
you can make really tight turns.
Yeah, and the PowerSurf FX, my powered surfboard, was, for me, the star gadget of the day because, you know, I think with a little bit more time, I could possibly have done some more tricks. I'd love to have tried it in the sea.
Yeah, on the real surf, that would have been great fun, wouldn't it?
Brilliant.
And it looked really cool as well. So, not only did I win the race, by the way...
You won the war.
I won the challenge this week, hurrah! And on my victorious note, we have to say
Absolutely.
goodbye. I've got a
See ya.
cracking show for you next week.